Oh my.
Where are we?
Look at where we are.
Ooh.
This was just a last minute little experiment for Luscious Living Friday.
I like it.
We're not going to stay with it because if we did, we couldn't see comments.
Oh.
And that'd be sad. But I thought we could just spend a few... Oh, wait, we're not seeing the dancers down there.
Well, we have to have the dancers.
Yeah, we got to have the dancers because we don't have the screen with the dancers. So
right.
The dancers got to represent. And sure, we could do it.
We could do it.
I always
they got
say
a better
I'm
go
learn
this
that dance, but I've never done it. Hey, what's this show? Ah! Oh! The dog walked on my cord.
Sophie! Oh, she's so cute. She's comfy. Good
I feel like the singers are
morning.
yelling
Good evening,
at
good
me.
afternoon, wherever you are on the planet.
And I don't know where we are, but I like the vibe.
This is going on the 300 wish list.
So
This is a beautiful room.
and I'll fix it so it loops better, and I'll figure out something to do with the comments so we can incorporate this. Or you know what? They don't need to see their comments.
Well, we
they
can't
really
see any
don't.
comments either, so
They're right there in front of you. They're just waiting.
Okay, somebody
It's just
comment.
that everybody's
We
being
are
super
live,
quiet
right?
because I think they're going, "Hey, that's not the Bob Doyle show because that's a different studio."
Maybe that's
And so
it.
they're just scrolling on by. No, they're not because anybody. There's Amy
Hey,
says good morning.
good
She says it to you.
Good morning.
That's the kind of thing that polite people do.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
So look, before we do any of this nonsense called the Bob Doyle show,
Yeah.
the Luscious Living Friday or not, look at that dog.
I know, she's so precious.
look at it. And it is Luscious Living Friday.
It is. Just in case you're wondering.
Before we do that, we need coffee. But before we can have coffee, we have to ring the bell for it. But before we can ring the bell, we have to be in possession of the bell. We should have a bell to bring in the bell. We do. Now that we've brought in the bell to bring in the coffee, we can ring the bell.
Yay! Oh, that's lovely.
It's Christmas.
Oh, this is mine.
Come on, that sounded kind of like the bell choirs. Didn't everybody just get a Christmassy vibe just then?
Yes.
I'm sure you did. And if you don't celebrate Christmas, I'm sure you got some kind of vibe. Ladies and gentlemen, coffee.
Coffee.
That smells
Yes, we upgraded
real
studios.
nice. Smells real nice, the coffee does. Hey, how come some heavy cream is heavier than others? That's just an aside, but...
You know, that's
know.
a really good question because I almost use, because you have half and half in there too, which I think just needs to be eaten, drinking.
Eaten?
Eaten,
Ugh,
drinking.
yeah, because that's how old
Drinking?
it is.
Drinking. It needs to be drinking.
Needs to be drunk?
I don't know. It needs to...
Drinked.
It needs to go.
All right.
Either in your body or in the garbage. But anyway, I don't know. But you're right. But when I poured the whipping cream, I'd gotten it from a different store, and it is a lot thicker.
Oh, I was going to say it's thinner. I'll tell you how it's the
I think
thickest.
it's thicker.
Is the Smith / Ralph's / not
Ralph's.
/ Kroger.
Oh, Kroger.
They have their heavy whipping cream is like almost, it's like thick. It's almost like something went horribly wrong, but it's awesome for ice cream. But then the heavy cream we have right now, to me, is very liquidy, more like a half and half than a heavy cream. So what's the difference?
Isn't that fantastic?
Is it the cows? Is it where they're born? Is it what they eat?
It's how it's pasteurized.
It's how
or the poisons they put in it. Or something else. Who knows?
That's right. Poison thickening agents.
Potentially. Mom, good morning. Okay, so I would like to just comment and congratulate my mom on upgrading to the 21st century and getting a smartphone.
That's right.
I can now
Oh,
text
no.
her.
So the world is a much better place
Much
for
better
it.
place.
And we're going to stick with this little background for a little bit, just because
like
I like it. But I haven't done its trickery, so it doesn't loop smoothly, so there's a jump, and that, of course, bothers me a bit, but we'll get over it, because I'm probably the only one who notices.
I'm going to say you're the only one who knows.
Now, of course, everyone will, because I took...
Pointed it out
time.
several times now.
I don't know why I do that. I've always done it. Probably
Amy,
always
yeah,
will.
of course I had to say something.
So when you look at this environment that we're in right now, we're going to assume also that the window is open.
Ah, yes.
Now, this little video clip actually does come with the sound effects of ocean waves, but it was, and every
Really
time I do
loud.
ocean waves, it takes over. It's a mistake. So everybody just has to imagine ocean waves. But what I'm asking you now
Okay.
is, let's say we're sitting here, we've got a fan going in the room, so we can kind of simulate a little bit of a breeze in here. And you inhale. What do you smell at a place like this? What is wafting through the air?
In this particular space, oh,
And
a
you at
little
home,
well,
imagine along with us.
yes.
And share your comments. We'll put the comment
Okay.
screen up shortly. But
Well, then, do we want to ask the audience first what they
go
are
ahead.
visualizing?
I'll watch their comments and see if they.
Okay.
Oh no, it's okay for you to.
Okay, for me to share.
Yes, absolutely.
So what comes to me, since the door or the window or whatever that might sliding glass is open, is that just fresh salt water air, that just that light humidity with just that little bit of salt. There's such a smell to it that's so luscious. And then because of the room and the environment, the walls and everything appear to be wood, I kind of get that cedary smell, that kind of, a little bit of woodsy, almost an incense aromatherapy kind of smell
I
because
know
of the
exactly.
wood, you know?
I think you're painting the picture because it definitely. Hey, Tommy. It definitely looks like cedar. It could be cedar, and everybody knows what that smells like.
I used to have a cedar room in my old house, my sanctuary, my salon. Yeah.
So I'm not now. I'm going to share where I'm at with it. Whenever I think beach, the first thing that comes to my mind is freaking suntan lotion. That tropical sort of, that when we grew up, when I was a lad, everybody had, what was it, is it Tropicana? What was it? It's some sort of, but everybody had to smell.
Oh, yes, Tropicana? No.
And maybe it's still the same. Still everybody has to smell like that. But
There's
I mean,
commercials.
it was because I
Coppertone.
Coppertone, any of them, but I'm really focused on like the ones that have that scent. It doesn't matter. They all
smells like
did.
coconut,
They all
really.
did. It's
It's like-
coconutty, tropical,
Yeah.
whatever. So that to me, I smell that, and it just means I'm by a body of water because I also have the same association with my grandmother's lake, which I've talked about many times as
Yeah.
like my ideal location.
Yeah.
And so, but let's see what else. Like if there was food, like let's say this was our little cabin on the beach.
Yes.
And we came in from the beach, and we kind of have that little lotion thing going.
okay.
But it's cool for whatever. That's why we're dressed somehow appropriately. But we've been something's cooking in the kitchen. So what are we smelling as we come in from this? Like, oh, let's get back because the boom is ready.
Ooh.
Anyone? Banana boat. Yes, that's
Banana boat.
that
yes.
is exact because that's. I don't think they do. Do they still do that anymore? But that's the
I don't
epitome
know.
of.
I
Yes,
suspect they do.
Tommy coming in with the win on that one.
Nice job. Yeah, Lake Michigan water.
Now, does that have a smell? Is that what we're talking about?
Lake
Or is
Michigan
she
water?
just
No, yeah, it does. It doesn't smell like the ocean, but it definitely has a. Anytime you're in a body of water, there's the water scent, and it's just
Yeah, sometimes it's a little. I don't want to say this in a negative way, but seaweedy, like the vegetation or whatever.
That's true.
That's kind of in the air sometimes. And what
That's
other
true.
smells? But like you said at the beginning, there's just that sort of overall saltwater, whatever, sort of thing.
Yes.
And so whenever I smell,
So we're coming in and we're smelling coffee for one, because
Yeah.
coffee is good 24/7, as Bob will attest.
just in case you forgot,
That's just Living Friday. Yummy.
so whenever I smell that tropical smell out in the wild, whether I'm near the beach or not, I'm immediately transported to
the beach.
The beach, and the feeling
Yes.
associated with being at the
Grilling.
beach. Oh yeah, we could
Yes.
be grilling something.
Actually, that was what I had. I was like, oh, burgers or something, veggie burgers, by the way, which we had yesterday, and it was really yummy.
Twice, right?
We did actually.
Is that right?
Well, honestly, I've had bizarre,
been
but
doing a lot of-
I've had veggie burgers 3 times in 3 meals.
But as I was
But they were
pointing
all
out,
completely different. which is really what I love about veggie burgers. Is that like the first one I had was really compiled as a veggie burger. It was more not pretending to be meat.
Right. It's not like the plant-based stuff that's
Right.
supposed to look like a hamburger. It's
Right. Yeah. I mean, they had beets and stuff in there, so it had a red, coloring and all of that. But it was definitely, a veggie burger. But it was so good. It was really good. We went to Lucky Dog in Vegas, so plug for them. And then, which we got to bring Harper. Oh, it was so sweet and so awesome.
Oh,
But
yeah.
then the next one I had was the Beyond. No, the Impossible. No, the Beyond. What did we have?
When did we do the Trader Joe's?
Oh, I've had 4. Wait, is that possible?
But my point is, it sounds like a lot of burgers, but it's not burger. It's everyone's like got different stuff in it. It's just
Yes.
beans and wheat shaped differently or whatever.
I don't know, but they're
When you eat
just
like this.
super yummy. But grilling, right? So corn on the cob, maybe grilled on the. I like that.
Tommy pointed out another one, the coastal fish smell. You cannot deny it. There's like,
yes.
hey, there's fish here.
You know what? That's kind of a lake thing too. Even with
Yes.
yes, the fish.
And some
smell.
days more than others.
That is true.
But you're right. I would go down. Mm-hmm. Oh man! I can smell
Yeah.
those mornings because it's like fresh cut grass. Because my grandma. That's another one. When I smell fresh cut grass, it's my grandmother's house. Even though we cut grass too, but she had this big backyard, just always, and it was always perfectly green, always great for barefoot. It just had
Yeah.
that perfect.
Yeah.
Kids were playing here stuff, and it was she always kept it cut, and so you always had that smell. So we combined the lake with the suntan lotion and the grass smell, and just and being at grandmother's house. I mean, these are all just
great memories.
yes. So wherever I smell cut grass, it's always a happy emotion.
I get that.
So obviously we're talking a little bit about aroma, and I guess we're just having you check in with some things. And because, this is something that, because we talk about how aroma triggers these great feelings and all these great memories, we can be a lot more intentional about creating these aromas in our home. And that's kind of a basic tenet of Luscious Living Lifestyle.
It
Is that we can be more proactive about creating these environments that give us that yummy feeling and not having to go to a place like this to get it.
correct.
But to actually, and so aroma being one of the most powerful, like, state shifters ever. It's like, so what can you do? Like, if you just made a list of some of the things that gave you that
yummy
yay
feeling.
feeling, and it doesn't even have to be, like, I've got an example here that I'm going to share that's not something we would want around the house. So gunpowder is the one. So gunpowder, obviously, I'm never even, but cap guns. As a kid, you had those little roll
Totally.
red caps with the little dots of gunpowder.
That little
Boom, boom,
smell.
boom.
Yes.
And it had that distinct smell of gunpowder, and then now you smell it with fireworks and stuff like that. But whenever I smell
Sparklers.
does it have the same smell?
It has it has a smell to it.
But whenever I smell that smell, it is just kind of childhood play.
Yep.
And I can see so vividly, like right now, the toy cap gun I had, it was like plastic, ivory looking, silver, and I remember it so vividly, just
Yeah.
thinking about the smell of gunpowder. So, but obviously I wouldn't say, hey, Tracy, let's get some gunpowder incense so I can relive my childhood every day.
No.
I think I could say it, but I think it would get vetoed.
Yes.
Just like when she's gone. That'd be so funny if they had that, like, okay, Tracy, see you on Monday. Oh, finally, I can burn my gunpowder incense. Go back to my childhood. Boom, boom, boom.
You can do it while you're playing VR.
Just as an aside with the gun thing,
Yeah.
like, I never was allowed to have a BB gun.
Well, yeah, no.
And that was like, my mom stood firm on BB guns and mini bikes, right?
Well, she was smart.
Absolutely. Like, it's one of those things where I was
have
like,
a firm.
it's like all my
Yeah, I
friends,
agree.
right? Not all my friends had mini bikes, but my next door neighbors did. And they had an ATV we ride around. Anyway,
Yeah.
she was so right. Like, I never went to the transition. I've
Good-
shot a
good
BB
mom.
gun. And it was like, I don't need to go any further than this. I think my dad had pellet guns, and I would shoot some cans. But that's like as a kid, and I never, played.
Yeah.
Now, of course, in video games.
Video games are
Forget
different
about
because
it.
I actually like.
I would be wanted
but I like
all
target
over the
stuff.
world.
Not that it's a gun, but that I can like hit a target. Whether it's darts. I love playing darts.
Do you?
Yes, I love playing darts.
Well, we'll have to
Speaking
find
about
some VR
smells
darts.
and darts, so
Cigarette
way
smoke.
back. Well, yeah, that's
Stale beer.
yeah, yeah. No,
Fried food.
But fried food, that's a good one for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I used to bartend at this place called Manny's in Chicago, and the smell of that place. I mean, because I played darts incessantly there, as well as shooting pool, and that just even thinking about darts made me think about the smell of the bar. It had a sweet smell to it. It was a very, I don't know. It was really great. It was very comforting to me. It sounds so funny, but a bar. But
Tommy.
it did.
Jarts, man. Lawn darts.
Lawn darts.
The best. When you could get them. Our friend.
Cornhole. Who called it cornhole?
So,
like, I'd like to know that.
I'm
Like,
about to
that's-
say the name of who just. So Rob, our friend Rob,
Yes.
he introduced me to both cornhole,
Yes.
which we also call boards, because
Why would you
why
call it
would you
cornhole?
call it cornhole in public? And then
Unless you're Beavis
jarts.
and Butthead.
And then jarts, and we played a lot of jarts. That was freaking awesome. I think he still has those jarts. Maybe. I can't remember. We got off track with smells. What did jarts smell like? Although I do immediately go to a particular cookout that we had at Rob's that was a jarts thing whenever I think of jarts. And that has smells. Cookouts have smells, as we've alluded to. We've done a full loop on...
Grilling. Mm-hmm. Yes, I love grilling. I mean, you know, especially when you get the vegetables like the portobello mushrooms. That I love that smell too.
Yeah, that didn't come into my life till I was grown up. Portobello mushrooms, no.
No, we
My mother is pointing out that sometimes Mom does know best.
See, it's true.
I'd say a lot of times Mom knows best.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of things I didn't like that my mom did that I'm glad she did now. Those are just two of them.
Uh-huh.
Mini bike? I didn't need to go there.
Nope.
Well, I rode a mini bike at a Florida school trip, band trip. You could rent mini bikes, and I immediately burned the side of my leg, and the scar is still there today. So, Mom knew best. This guy does not need to be on one of these things.
I rode a mini bike on vacation in the Bahamas and Paradise. There's this bridge that goes up really, really, really steep and then goes down really, really, really steep. And you're on this like little bitty thing and it's just chugging along trying to get up the hill. And there's like 20 cars behind us.
Oh God,
right?
the worst.
And there was construction, so it was only one lane. It was so scary. And then the little thing's just chugging along, and I've never really ridden one of these before, so I'm scared to death. And then of course you go down really steep, right? And so the down really steep, I'm like,
No.
it's like a roller coaster, and I couldn't control it. And I'm so lucky I didn't wipe out. But no mini bikes.
So when I say,
Bakeries.
and this is to everyone,
Right.
this is to everyone, when I bring up the whole topic of smell and it being time machine and all that, we're not introducing this concept.
Right.
You've all had these conversations. You all know what I'm talking about. But do you have a number one thing that pops into your head when you even think about this conversation of aroma being transportive or this?
So I actually do what I think about is baking, right? It's like, cookies and brownies. It's like my mom's baking, right? And my grandmother's baking, kolachki, and like all of the baking smells. That's like the first thing I go to.
So okay. So for me, it's like colognes, perfumes.
Oh, sure.
Because I just I was an emotional high schooler, which we talked about. And you make these connections. You fall in love with this girl or whatever. She smells like this, like she had a perfume. So any time in my whole life, if there's a perfume it's even close.
Yes.
It has one of the ingredients that's a trigger.
Yes.
I am sitting outside of the freaking band room in high school waiting for this girl just to maybe show up.
Well, thank God she doesn't.
But I remember the perfume was Jovan or something like that. I mean, it was like you just remember so much about it. And then later, it was the next one in the chain. There are three. The next one in the chain was there was I don't know if they still have it, but Menon had a green sort of aftershave called Skin Bracer.
I don't know.
Afterward or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And it had this smell. And so in high school, for a short period of time,
Yeah.
I felt like I needed that or something. I don't know. But man, the smell of that, which I have not smelled since high school, but I can remember it right now so freaking vividly. And when I think of that, I think of standing on front of on my front porch waiting to go on a date with at 16 years old with this girl who I was just, had this mad crush on. And I'm smelling like mint. So I'm just like bathing in that smell, and I'm associating this excitement with smelling like this. And so every time I even think of Minnan, I am on the front porch waiting for that to happen. So yeah, but I'm just
transporting you into a different
and
memory.
then later it was opium, the perfume opium. Same idea. You have a connection with some gal or whatever who has that, and then every time you smell it later, you're back in college.
Well, mine is my mom. She wears Beautiful, which is I can't remember who puts it out, but I 100% associate that with my mom. And it's like, oh, that, like, I just want to hug. Like,
Oh,
it's just,
isn't that nice? People are relating to Kalachki.
Oh, Kalachki. Oh, my God. We made Kalachki, Bohemian Kalachki, last weekend. Amber and I made Kalachki. Well, I did, Amber and I, anyway, we all made Kalachki. It was so good. I haven't done that in so long. Now I want to make fruit dumplings.
Okay.
I just got I have to get the
Estee
recipe.
Lauder makes Beautiful.
Estee Lauder,
so now
that's
I got
it.
a plug there. And
Get
the
another
old
plug.
wooden capped Old Spice reminds me of my father. I had some wooden cap thing. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh.
Yes. I'm in my bedroom. I know exactly what you're talking about.
That's so funny.
Crazy. So this is what I'm talking about.
This is exactly what we're talking about. Yes.
I could go on and on.
I know. Suddenly I'm like, whew, I'm in my mom's bathroom. She has this glass cabinet with ancient Avon colognes. They're like, the glass, like, golf cart or the dog or the, because they used to have, well, I don't know, they probably still do, or I have no idea. I haven't done Avon in a long time, but they are classic. They have to be as old as I am. But when you would, because it was, my job to clean the bathroom, so you have to, clean all of these things. But the smells, because you open up the caps to, clean and whatever else, and
Oh wow, I can see where that would
smells.
be crazy in your
Yes.
brain.
Crazy in my brain.
Yeah.
She's got like 20 of them in there, and I can just, I love it. I love it.
See,
It's so good.
Even just thinking about
Just
aroma
thinking about
is a
aroma.
state changer.
Yes.
But some of these things, we could, like I could probably find a cap gun and, have that little fun memory. Super elastic bubble plastic. Have we talked about that?
No.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
That's what I was afraid of. Who knows what super elastic bubble plastic was? I think that there are still things out there. Basically, it was like a little tube of toothpaste with this, what do they call it? Poly something or other goo that would come out. You'd roll it up in a little ball and you stick it on the end of a plastic straw. It was all rainbow colored.
Okay, the kids had this.
Yeah.
I think, and I didn't like it because it was like slime because it got everywhere and it was.
Yeah, it wasn't the
stuck
consistency of slime, but it had the property of ruining things.
Yes, it had the
Right.
property of ruining things. So I did
That
not.
real sticky
No,
stuff.
I did not.
But you'd blow to complete the thought for those who don't know. You would blow it up like a balloon,
Right.
and then you'd take it off and twist it, and you'd have this little light, multicolored thing. It was pretty cool. But then it was gooey, and if the source type goo got into anything, you're done.
Yes.
But it had a very distinct smell that, again, I can remember right now as if it was, and it has been a zillion years since I played with that. Yes, what?
Susan's Bohemian Hoska. Oh my God, I want Hoska so bad.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, I have to make it for you. I haven't actually. I don't know that I've ever made Hoska by myself. I
What
used
is
to always
it?
make it with my gram. It is a sweet bread.
Okay, I'm on board.
Oh, it's so.
As long as you don't put like fruit chunks in it.
You usually put raisins in it.
Oh,
or
well,
at
that's
least-
okay. Raisins
but-
is acceptable.
My
You know what I'm
kids hate
talking
raisins,
about,
but-
like fruitcake type stuff.
No, this is, oh my God, yes, sauerkraut, bread dumplings, koprava. Oh, we made koprava. Vegetarian. Actually, it was vegan koprava. But it was so amazing. It's
The
a dill
pommes frites
gravy.
look like a hat. Hold on, get right where you were.
That's lovely. Okay, yeah.
Well, I
Thanks for that.
didn't know about Hoska. Never heard of that.
Yes,
before.
Hoska. Oh, it's so delicious.
Well, hooray.
It's like a kneaded thing. It's a lot of kneading in that. I'm getting Hoska from Illinois.
Miss getting
Oh,
ice cream.
Amy. I'm like, who? Yeah. No, you can get. Yeah, there's still some bohemian restaurants and stuff in Chicago.
My grandmother's basement had a very distinct smell because she gardened. She
Yes.
did her own gardening, and so she had this refrigerator with onions and potatoes in it all the time, and that created a very distinct aroma in all of the downstairs. I mean, and it is just. And again, I think of that, and I think of all of the toys we always played with, the books we would read.
Yeah.
I mean, like down to the fiber of the freaking carpet of detail that we can remember from just going there summer and spring and spending so much time there
Yeah.
because you'd walk in from the lake downstairs, and so it was that low. So there's that sort of not musty.
Yeah, but
like
I
I
know
live
exactly
on a
what
lake.
you're talking about.
Ugh, I'm telling you.
I love it.
I
And you're
want it
talking
back.
about books. Like, I can remember being in my grandparents' basement, and actually what sort of switched me spiritually was a lot of Native American books. And my grandfather's books smelled like him. Like, it sounds so crazy, but like I can remember like reading these books and just like taking
Oh,
in his
yeah.
essence.
Yes. We were kind of talking about our personal smells the other day.
Yes.
I don't remember if that was when we were at the park or in the studio or whatever. In studio.
In studio. That sounds so official.
It
Yes. Oh my gosh. We're originally from Chicago. Where do you live now? Oh, I have to connect.
And I'll
Okay.
tell you another one. Six Flags or amusement park
Yes.
burgers. The smell that wafts through the air
Oh, yes.
that is distinctly theme park, snack bar, whatever it is.
Yes.
It's like you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's that blend of it all.
Yep.
The
Cotton
hot dogs and the
candy.
hamburgers, just everything that's cooking in that park creates this very unique blend that you can only get in an environment like at other fairs where there's food trucks and all that.
Yes.
But just that smell of food
Yes.
that's not good for us, probably.
Nah, it's okay. Yes. Yeah,
But-
you just when you said that transported me to the Kane County Flea Market where I used to get the roasted nuts. They were like roasted pecans
Mm-hmm.
and almonds and all that kind of stuff. And even though it was outside, that smell carried through the whole place.
Yes. Roasted nuts is another great one.
Yeah, if you go to the mall, sometimes they have those little kiosks, and like that side of the whole mall smells like it. It's so yum.
So the overall theme here is there's some of these smells that we cannot recreate. Like we cannot just
Go to our grandparents' basement.
Exactly. But there are some things that we can. There's elements of some of these things, especially if it's food that you could create or if it's
Like Hoska.
aromas and you could use essential oils and diffusers and things like that. We talk about Palo Santo almost ad nauseum, but it's because it's so freaking great.
It truly is.
But it's funny because I only smelled it the first time just a few years ago.
Me too.
But when I smell it now, I'm right back to where I was and the vibe there and the whole thing. So it's super transportive. So I guess it's just a reminder that one of the most powerful state changers we have is our sense of smell.
Right.
And it can put us into these moods where trying to think our way through an issue or whatever sometimes doesn't work because we're just spinning in our head or whatever. We need something external to change our state or whatever. So, you bake some brownies that remind you of your mom, or you open up, I have this, this is, an essential oil, patchouli oil from 19 something,
Something.
Oh my God! But when I smell that, I am back on Cloverhurst Avenue with my friends, where I first got slathered with this stuff and decided it was the coolest thing ever. And some people hate it, and I
I
love
patchouli.
it.
Yeah, I do too.
And it's just-
yeah.
Yeah, all of those musty kind of. You smell like a hippie. Okay,
I'm a hippie. That's okay.
I like the smell.
I know. Yeah. So what we're saying basically, so Luscious
Give
living
peace a
lifestyle
chance.
is right.
All
exactly.
we were saying is give peace a chance.
It's all about the five senses. Well, more senses than five, but the five primary senses, and smell being one of the most powerful to be able to change your state like that. Even for me, like if I'm stressed and you make coffee, just the smell of brewing the coffee will sometimes just alleviate some of that little angst and it's like, it's,
That's actually not insignificant.
yeah.
That's you're right. That is almost a self-medicating thing. Just the smell of coffee means something good's about to happen, or
Right.
something, something nice, something that is just, yeah, that is some really powerful wiring, just that smell of coffee, at
Yeah.
least for us in our situation, in our
Absolutely.
relationship to coffee or whatever. So,
Yeah.
yeah, simple things like that, even if you don't drink it.
Right. Well, and for me, like even in the wintertime, especially because I just associate hot chocolate with the winter. But like there's that pouring, when you first pour the hot cocoa and it's just like, oh, it just makes me think, I don't know.
Everything's going to be okay.
Yeah, like I'm all
We're going to
warm and
make it as a
fuzzy
species, ladies and
inside,
gentlemen. We're going to be
It's very
fine.
comforting.
As long as there's hot chocolate, marshmallows, things like that, I think we're good in the hood.
Yes. So there you go.
There you go. We did another one.
We did, and we
Another
hope you had
week
fun,
in
and
the
we hope
can.
you just. And you know what? The other thing too is just even thinking about the smells has brought us all those memories and changed our state.
Absolutely. So imagine how great it would be if you actually could recreate some of the smells.
Fun project for the weekend.
Well, we want to thank you another time. That's not what I meant to say, obviously. We want to
love
thank you
you a
again
lot.
for your time. We absolutely adore you.
Yes.
And we can't wait till we see you again.
We shall. Sophie says, have a great weekend, and we'll see you on Musical Monday, 8 a.m. Pacific time. Mwah! Love you guys.